Everybody join in this melody.
Let us unite, let us unite.
That's the only way we're gonna be free.
Let us unite.
Everybody singing this sweet refrain.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Sing this melody till it gets in your brain. Well, I'm talking to you, Muslim, Christian, and Hebrew. Anything to do, we got to unite, or else we are through.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Everybody singing this sweet refrain.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Sing this melody till it gets in your brain.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Everybody singing this melody.
Let us unite, let us unite.
That's the only way we're gonna be free. They're united in Ghana, Guinea, Mali, and Nigeria. All over Africa, the people are getting together. They even uniting in Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Angola. And rumors vision will light the world over from Cape to Cairo, one Africa.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Everybody singing this sweet refrain.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Sing this melody till it gets in your brain.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Come on, do it tonight.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Brothers and sisters, let us unite.
There is a need for unity. The best for you and me. There is a need for unity. The best for you and me. Unity.
Everybody joining this melody. That's the only way we're gonna be free.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Come on, do it tonight.
Let us unite, let us unite.
Brothers and sisters, let us unite. Well, they're uniting in Cuba, Trinidad, Tobago, and Grenada, St. Kitts, Puerto Rico, and Jamaica. Let us unite in America, the yellow man moving in Asia, the red man awakening in India, the black man rising up in Africa. Let us jump up in America. Ha! Ha ha!
There is a need for unity. The best for you and me.
All of the nations of the earth as we speak are angry. They're angry because governments cannot suffice the needs of their people. They're angry because a few have gotten wealthy at the expense of the many, and the poor and the sick and the weak and the unlearned multiply. And the value of their lives are diminished by the rich and the powerful, so that when human life is devalued, that in the eyes of man you are unworthy of the gift of life, then it is easy for another human being to take the life of another human being that he or she has devalued. Black life in America is devalued. Hispanic life is devalued. Even poor white life is devalued. There's a way that I have to behave. I'm free, but I'm not free to rob you of yours. I'm not free to take from you what does not belong to me. So if I will construct my life according to these righteous principles, then between man and man, man and woman, peace. Between race and race, peace. Between rich and poor, peace. We have our beautiful Mexican family. This once was theirs. So you can't say to them they are aliens. That's a horrible word to use for former owners. I see my indigenous family here. Many tribes, but they're really one great nation of people that now must be reunited with themselves. So it's their time now, as well as ours, that God would intervene in our affairs and bring the bottom rail to the top. The government is not rehabilitating soldiers. When they send you away to kill. When you come home, they gotta reconstitute you for civilian life again. Make sure you have a job so you can take care of your family, but they're not doing it. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad says, a woman can do anything that a man does, and the only thing he forbids the woman to do is the thing that degrades her. So how high can you go? High as you want to. Why would God allow the female to wear his attributes if you can't be a manifestation of that attribute? Women, you got to be set free. What God has put within you must be cultivated, must be developed, and must be used for the advancement of a nation and a world. I said to myself, Mr. President, why the hell don't you go to the wicked police department? Why the hell don't you stand up and tell them that your killing of black youth and brown youth is not gonna hold no more? Why don't you stand up? God's world is in need of a truth that will set up a government where everybody can live in peace, under real freedom, real justice, and real equality.
A few years ago, when I was in university, I studied my master's degree in business administration. I was in an economics class. Keep holding hands, please don't let go. And the professor walked in the class. He said, today we are going to learn about the economic principle of value. And he said something very simple. He says, the economic principle of value is based on a simple principle. The principle of rarity. That was a new word for me. Rarity. Everybody say rarity. He said the power of value is based on rarity. And he went on to explain it. He says, the more rare a thing is, the higher the value. Squeeze that hand just a little bit. This is why gold is so valuable, because it is, you're smart, you sound like economists. Diamonds are so valuable because they are rare. Oil is valuable because it is rare. Rocks are cheap because they are common. When you can find a lot of something, it becomes cheap. That's why the costume, jewelry, earring in your ear is so cheap. Because they make them by the millions. But when you want a real diamond, you got to shop at certain stores. So God made a decision before you was conceived. He decided that I want you to be permanently rare, so that you will never lose your value. Tell your neighbor, I am rare. I feel like shouting right here. And this is why it's so important for you. Listen to me. It's important for you to never imitate anybody. Imitations are cheap. Tell your neighbor, I am an original, and I have total value. I don't need your opinion about how valuable I am. I'm an original, irreplaceable, undeniable, completely original, and I love myself. Lift your hands and scream loud if you are valuable. Hallelujah! So the most important thing you should be is yourself. If people say to you, you think you are different, tell them absolutely yes. Come on, clap your hand right there. I am completely different. Hallelujah. This is going to be a good year because you're going to be yourself in Jesus Christ.
How many of you believe that if real change is going to happen, it requires a leader? Hey, I'm Richard Chancey with the John Maxwell Company, and today John's going to share with you some practical teaching about how to create real change in your organization and take your business to the next level. Before John gets started, I wanted to share with you an incredible community that we've created at the John Maxwell Company called Leader Core. Leader Core is John's solution to the biggest question we have as leaders. How will I lead my team this week? Because John loves people who take action, he challenged our team to put together a fast action bonus for you during this training. So if you get involved in Leader Core today, you're going to get everything you see on this page for just $99. If you want to be in community with people who are getting ready to lead at the next level, go ahead and click the button now and get started. If for any reason in the next 30 days you decide Leader Core is not for you, just let us know and we'll refund your investment and you can keep all the bonuses. Now buckle your seatbelt and get ready to learn. Here's Dr. John C. Maxwell.
This last year I had a great experience. I was able to play Augusta, this incredible golf course, with Lou Holtz, who is known in the sports world as a very successful college football coach. And although the golf was great at Augusta, what was really great was the evening sessions after dinner back in the cabin. And one night I got on a conversation with Lou Holtz because he coached 6 university teams, of which all 6 of them, when he took over as coach, had a losing record the year before. All 6. And within 2 years of him being the coach, all 6 of those that had a losing record, he not only turned it around, but within 2 years of him coaching these teams, they were in some kind of a college bowl game. And I call that a U-turn leader. A U-turn leader is they take something that's going down and then they flatten it out. They kill that negative momentum and they get it going, and then they bring it back at the top and they get positive momentum. That's a U-turn kind of leader. And to do that kind of a thing, you have to create positive change. Remember this: you can't turn anything around without changing it. Nobody ever said, I'll tell you why I was so successful. I took something that was not doing well and did nothing. I just did nothing. I just said, time will heal us. And 27 years later, we kind of turned around. No. Let me tell you something. Everything that's bad in your life will never be fixed until you change something about it. Everything bad in your organization will never be fixed until there is a change. Change is the indispensable link to turning things around, to testing and proving that you're a good leader. If you and I take over something that's doing well and has momentum, to be honest with you, we don't have to be a leader very well. We just almost have to just kind of carry the baton in front of the group and just kind of run ahead and stay ahead of the group. But when it's going wrong, when it's going down, it takes that's the test of a leader. What you take that's not working, stop that negative momentum and then turn it around and give it. If you turn it around, it's always because you produced positive change within the organization. So let me give you 3 or 4 quickly change comments. Number 1, people feel awkward and self-conscious when they have to make changes, when they're doing something new. It's just there's an awkwardness about that. We all feel awkward. And so whenever you're trying to create positive change, you're making people do something they don't want to do. I literally talked to a guy one time and I was talking about changes in the organization. And he said, well, I know we've gone through some changes in the organization, but I just can't recall them right now. And I said to myself, you haven't gone through real changes in the organization because there's nothing but pain in those. You don't. You remember them well. Oh my gosh, do you remember when we had to go? Are you with me? So it's always awkward. Do me a favor, drop your pen for a moment and just clasp your hands like this, would you please? Just like this. Okay, you got it? Everybody got their hand clasped? That's really good. Now, let me tell you something about what you just did. You've done this thousands of times. Let me tell you what you've never done. Move your fingers over one and clasp them. Feel how awkward that is? You know why it's awkward? You've never clasped your hands like that until right now. You're comfortable doing things the same way. Fold your arms for me. Just fold your arms. That's beautiful. You've done it thousands of times. Now change the way you fold your arms. Feel how awkward that is? You know why it's awkward? You've never done it that way before. Now, they're both folded arms. They're both clasped hands. They're both the same thing. But you've never done one, and so therefore it's uncomfortable to you. Here's what I know. Most people are more comfortable with old problems than they are with new solutions. That's what I know. So therefore, people want to stay in the old problems. If you're going to be a U-turn leader and create positive change, you're going to have to get them to cross their arms differently. You're going to have to get them to clasp their hands differently. The second thought on change is that people initially focus on what they're going to lose or give up when they have to do change. When you ask people to change, the first thing they think about is not what they're going to receive, new and fresh and different and beautiful. They think about what they're going to have to give up. That's why they dig in. The first question a person asks when there's change is, how's this going to affect me? What's this mean to me? What am I going to have to do? What am I going to have to do in that process? Because I know these two things about change, I can still remember when I was 27 and I had to lead my first congregation through a multi-million-dollar building program. And I was way over my head. And I can still remember spending days trying to figure out, how do I take a congregation that people vote on change, including multi-million-dollar building programs, and as a 27-year-old kid, convince them to build this big building and millions of dollars. How do I do that? And I did that. This worked when I was 27. I did this. So I developed a strategy I'm going to give you right now called Plan Ahead. And this is how to navigate successful change. And can I tell you something? I wrote this down at 27. I followed it. I follow today. It really works. The letter P, predetermine the change that's needed. The first thing you want to do is you want to sit down and you want to predetermine what is the change that's needed in my life. Because if you're going to turn something around, change has to happen. Now, you don't want action without understanding what you're wanting. So your whole goal isn't to go in and change something. Your goal is to change something that matters, that works. So only you as a leader can predetermine what that change needs to look like. And the way you do it is basically say, this is what is. I mean, hey, Lou Holtz said, I have a losing team. I want to have a winning team. What's it mean to take a losing team and make them a winning team? I asked him that process. And Lou told me, he said, John, I asked the players that were on the team that were coming back, why do you think you lost so many games last year? He said, what I did is I did two things. I listened to everybody that was in that losing environment. I asked a lot of questions until I figured out what the issues were. And then he said that great statement, how does a leader that doesn't ask questions ever figure out what to do? I love that. If you're not asking questions of your people, you don't have a clue where they are. You don't have a clue what they think. And he said, I just asked questions. Arthur Blank, when he bought the Atlanta Falcons, told me the very same thing. He said, John, I just went out on the street and I just asked the fans, tell me, why don't you go to the Falcons games? They said, because they stink. They're not any good. Prices are too high. Food costs too much. He said, I just got all those lists. And he said, here's what these leaders know. The answers to the questions you ask will be the strategy that you implement to make the change. The strategy is within the people, but nobody's extracted it out of them. So you got to predetermine the change that is needed. And I think you do that by finding out where the people are, asking the question. After a while, you got it. The picture begins to be clear. The letter A, lay out your steps. Now, I've got to lay out my steps to bring people through successful change. If I walk close to the people through this change, I'll be their leader. If I walk far ahead of the people in this change, I'll become a martyr. You don't want to be a martyr. The good news is if you die a martyr's death, you're always special in the hearts of people. Bad news is you're dead. That's just not a good thing. You with me? So you got to do what I call the leadership dance. This is the leadership dance. You can call me the Arthur Murray of leadership. Okay? Here's the leadership dance. This is the way this works. You got to walk ahead of them so they can see where they got to go. But you got to be close to them. They don't be walking far ahead of them. You with me? Close enough so they can see. You got to walk beside them so they can participate with you in the journey, so that you can listen and you can interact and you can take this journey together. They're in the seat beside you. And you got to walk behind them so that you watch the people that you empower. And the leadership dance is doing all three of those things at the same time. You walk ahead as an example. You walk beside as a friend. You walk behind as a leader that empowers. And once you can do those three things and mix it up with the people, you're laying out your steps very well. The letter A is adjust your priorities. Very simple. Whenever you're going through change, there's no such thing as a pre-game plan that you actualize out completely. Let me tell you the difference between a manager and a leader. A manager is a person who took plan A and won't get off of it because he doesn't want it to change on him. He's got the plan out. He's got the strategy out. Don't mess with it. This is the strategy. Here, stay right here. Let me tell you, a leader. A leader starts plan A because he knows you have to have a plan. But he, at any moment, is ready to change to plan B because he's found out a better way. If you think you get the answers on the front end, you've not led very much. Your answers come in the leadership itself, not in the front end. That's why plan A never ends up plan A. It's plan B or plan C. Why? Because you adjust and you hear and you listen and you, hey, by the way, you seize that opportunity. Remember, the great coaches are great because they make halftime adjustments. That pre-game plan at halftime has to be revisited. And you have to say, okay, what works? What doesn't work? And the changes you make have to be critical changes, not cosmetic changes. Remember this, cosmetic changes are easy to accept and implement. So people like cosmetic changes. They change the color. They change the number a little bit. And they just love that kind of stuff. It always kind of bugs me a little bit because I sit there and say, and, you know, where are you going with it? Where are you going? Outside, they like gray better than black. Okay. What else are we going to do? Okay. And so you want to make critical change. You don't want to make cosmetic changes. And understand this. As you make these changes, there's always an answer. Don't ever get into that scarcity mindset as a leader that if I go this path, there's no answer down to this path. There's always an answer. And there's usually more than one answer. That's why leadership is such a great art. Leadership is such a great art because you begin to understand that as you lead them, as you journey, you give them the best leadership. And that's why trust is essential in the people with you. That's why trust is essential so that you can make these changes as you go to get them there. Okay. And the next one is notify your key personnel. Sit down when you're going through changes, and there are two kinds of key people you need to notify. You need to notify your influencers. These are the people that they better say yes because you're not going to get it done without their yes. Their approval is essential. Are you with me? So you got to notify up front the influencers, and you got to notify up front the implementers. They're the ones that are going to make the dream come true. So you got to get the permission of the influencers for the plan to fly, but then you got to get your implementers because they're going to work the plan. So you notify key personnel. Then you allow time for acceptance. Now you sit down with your key people and you allow them to have time to accept where you're going. Now, this is where leadership art is at its highest form, because your only intuition and timing are a result of a leadership gift, or they're a result of giftedness. Whatever you're gifted in, you understand timing and intuition. If you're not gifted in it, you don't have timing or intuition going for you at all. So you're intuitive in your giftedness. Your ability to do timing is in your giftedness. So this allowing time for acceptance, this is where you begin to allow people to have the time that they need to move forward with you. And to do that, you have to, first of all, slow down. And when I say slow down, this is something I've always had a problem with. I'm dealing with one of my weaknesses now. I don't slow down well. When I see it, I'm gone. And then I realize, ooh, I got to take people with me. So I come back to get you. But when I come back to get you, it's like, are you ready? And if I come back to get you and you're not ready, I got you. And I'll sometimes go again. And I have to really work hard on this slowing down process. Okay? Because naturally I want to speed up. I don't like anything slow. There's not, I just, I like to drive fast. Yeah, it's just, I have a need for speed, okay? I have a need for speed, okay? And as a leader, what happens is you get too far out in front of your people. Does that mean? And so you got to slow down. Second thing to do in this allowing time is you got to make sure you're clear in your communication. Because when they don't understand, people cannot follow what they do not understand. And so all communicators understand the value of clarity on the front end. So I travel a lot, and I brought this with me because I just love it. When you travel, you just find some funny things that are written. And these are signs in English from various parts of the world. For example, the dry cleaners in Bangkok. I love this. Drop your trousers here for the very best results. So a bunch of people in front of that dry cleaners mooning the rest of the people. Hotel brochure in Italy. This hotel is renowned for its peace and solitude. In fact, crowds from all over the world flock here to enjoy its solitude. This is from a Tokyo hotel. It is forbidden to steal hotel towels. Please, if you're not a person to do such a thing, then please do not read this. In Bucharest hotel lobby, the lift is being fixed for the next day. During that time, we regret that you will be unbearable. Hotel in Athens, visitors are expected to complain at the office between the hours of 9 and 11 o'clock daily. Is it complaining time yet? In a Rome laundry, ladies, leave your clothes here and spend the afternoon having a good time. Outside a Hong Kong tailor shop, ladies may have a fit upstairs. In a Rhodes tailor shop, order your summer suits. Because it's a big rush, we will execute customers in strict rotation. Bang! Next. In Copenhagen, an airline ticket office, we take your bags and send them in all directions. It's our gift. We'll just send them anywhere they are possibly. Make your communication clear. Head into action. The H is head into action. Get going. Just start going. You never know the level of commitment from your people until you ask for action. You just never know how committed they are. The letter E, expect problems. Expect them. Why? Because motion causes friction. You start moving. And it's a tremendous leadership mistake to think that you have such a plan that is problem-free. Okay? And that everybody will buy in. So what leaders need to do, this is so beautiful. It's so negative, but it's so good. When I say expect problems this whole process, here's what you got to do as a leader. You got to think the worst first. You got to think the worst before anyone else. You got to speak the worst first. And you got to answer the worst first. You got to do all three of those things. In other words, you got to think what problems are going to be there. And then when you figure out what problems are going to be there, you say, now as we do this, there are a whole bunch of problems we're going to encounter. when you speak it up to the people, they'll say, oh my gosh, he's already figured out that we got, hey, and let me tell you, when those problems occur, let me tell you what we're going to do. When you can do that well, understand you're really helping them with positive change. And the next one is always point to your successes. Somebody said, why? I said, because you always have people point to your failures. I mean, some people, that's their spiritual gift. You understand. They can't find criticism. They're just not very comfortable. And then daily review your progress. Daily review your progress. Why? Because things get off on a daily basis. Things get off course on a daily basis. Problems occur on a daily basis. And I close this section of creating positive change, which is the acid test of leader. I close this because of the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I have what I call the law of buy-in. And the law of buy-in, I think, answers this whole process of creating positive change within an organization. The law of buy-in just simply says people buy into the leader before they buy into the vision. And so what I want you to understand is when people say, can I create positive change within the organization? Can I do a U-turn? Can I turn this around? The question is very simple. How much of the people bought into you? If they bought into you, you can turn it around. Just think as I close of the story I gave you of Lou Holtz that turned 6 university programs around. Losing programs within 2 years had him in college bowls. Think of what happened about the 5th college he went to with a reputation of a turnaround U-turn leader. Can you imagine just the excitement and the momentum of Lou Holtz coming to our college? You know, we just stink. And he's going to come here and he's going to turn us into winners. Okay. Now let me tell you something. It's a phenomenal thing when you have your reputation that you're a problem solver, and it's a phenomenal thing when you have a reputation that you turn things going the wrong way around and you make them positive. Once you get that, this is a leadership edge that you have. It's a leadership edge. It gives you a sense of momentum. It gives you a sense of moral authority that allows you to come back into a situation. And now, here's what I learned a long time ago. When people believe the best in you as a leader, they give their best to you as a leader. So you want to become good at this session, because this is the area that once you can do it and you can do it well, you kind of get a reputation as a turnaround artist, a U-turn leader that creates positive change, and then all kind of very good and exciting things happen. So I wish that for you. I wish that for me. I wish that for all of us.
Now, for a lot of leaders, including me, hearing from John is like drinking from a fire hose. There's just so much practical teaching. The biggest challenge is, how do you take this information and translate it into transformation in your life and your business? That very question is what led us at the John Maxwell Company to create LeaderCore. So what is LeaderCore? Well, simply, it's a leadership operating system for your business. It's a step-by-step plan to implement Dr. John C. Maxwell's core leadership processes into your business so you can 10x your leadership capacity. LeaderCore is made up of 4 elements. Number 1, it's a monthly step-by-step leadership plan delivered right to your inbox. 2, weekly live Q&As with our team and Dr. Maxwell. 3, access to the core community. And number 4, on-demand training for you and your team. Now, before you sign up for LeaderCore, let me show you exactly what you're going to get when you get started today. The entire process centers around the monthly core leadership plan. And what that is a step-by-step leadership plan delivered monthly right to your inbox. In fact, if you decide to partner with us on LeaderCore, you're going to get immediate access to Dr. Maxwell's 30-day growth plan. Now, here's what we know about you. If you stuck around this long, chances are you're looking for some change. Well, change requires a leader, and that's why we're starting with you, because we know that growth is a core leadership process. In fact, one of our core values as an organization is growth, because we know that personal growth increases capacity. If you want to go to the next level, you've got to grow to the next level. The 30-day growth plan is how you begin that journey. In the very first month of LeaderCore, we're going to help you build the process for your own personal growth. We're going to do that by walking you through John Maxwell's 6-step personal growth plan. John's going to help you define 2 to 5 areas you need to grow in to reach the next level of leadership. Now, let me get off script for just a second here and tell you this. In the first 30 days of this plan, as we began to develop it, we walked through the process as well. Two of the areas that I chose to grow in were, number one, a choice, attitude, and number two, a skill, delegation. Let me tell you, it has been a game changer for me, and I know it'll be a game changer for you as well. Once you have those growth areas defined, we're going to help you design a plan to implement those growth areas so you can start seeing changes happen immediately. And that's all going to happen in just the very first month. We feel like this is the easy button for implementing an effective leadership plan in your company. Now, you and I both know, if you've ever led anything, that there's nothing really easy about leadership, but it can be simple. And that's what we're after, a simple solution for installing core leadership processes into your business so you can 10x your leadership capacity. And I'm sure you know that when you lift the lid on leadership, everything else in business follows: employee retention, productivity, revenue, and scalability. Every month, you're going to get a new leadership plan to help you grow as a leader and invest in your team. And by the way, some of the plans will be all about your team and not just about you. You're also going to get a monthly live Q&A with Dr. John Maxwell himself. John Maxwell is the leading authority on leadership. He's written more than 100 books and sold more than 30 million copies. And best of all, you're going to find out what John's secret sauce really is. Do you think you know what it is? Let me tell you. It's taking time to think. During his live calls, you'll get access to John's latest thinking, and that will inspire your best thinking for growing your team. And then you'll get the opportunity to ask your questions as well. You're also going to get weekly calls with a corporate leadership trainer. Now, these are experts in corporate leadership development. These are men and women who coach everyone from solopreneurs all the way up to Fortune 500 companies, and they've been hand-selected for their knowledge of John's core leadership processes. And I promise you, you don't have an issue they haven't helped a leader walk through. They'll be on a live call with you every week, coaching you through the core leadership plan for the month and answering any questions you have related to the plan or your business.
No unity, no power. White power for white people. Black power for black people. 1967. The Black Panther Party. The movement. Freedom.
Let's talk about freedom, freedom, freedom.
We will not bow down to racism. We will not bow down to injustice. We will not bow down to exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand.
Now this is time to free your mind and your soul. Yo, out the story has never been told. Ladies, you got to demand what you want, and what we want is respect, right?
Come and take a walk with me, closer walk with me, see what only I can see.
Sisters, check this. Watch this.
Turn us loose, set us free from all the chains that bind me. Let us run in our own direction. Let us go, set us free from all this propaganda and lies that your people try to teach us. I know why you would like to bring us down.
Because we have all the good on you. You try to tell us that our lives don't mean anything,
But we know so much better, so we're gonna take up the freedom. Freedom for my body, freedom for my mind, freedom for All this time you've been telling us these lies, but now we finally figured out okay. Yeah, all that we would never wise up, but we'll show the how black female can do. So you continue to keep us away, but no, we ain't going out like that. Oh no. All these lies and all this propaganda you want us to take, we're gonna take it. You gotta take freedom from my body, freedom from my mind, freedom from my spirit, freedom from my body, freedom from my my soul. I see the fear in your eyes, surprise, so cover it all. I know just who I am and what I wanna do. I can make you run, make you hide from all your ancestors' transgression that you hold inside. Sisters rising up and sing that our time is here. We're taking back what's been ours for years.
Let the heaven of a sister embrace you. Embrace the mother God.
All these lies and all this propaganda that you want us to say, we're gonna take out. Freedom from my mind, freedom from
Ready for Revolution, Brother Eric Teray Muhammad here. Welcome to Class is in Session. I hope you got something out of it because it's all about purpose and being purposeful. It's all about purpose and being intentional. It's all about purpose and knowing your why and moving on what you know and not allowing the unknown bog you down. That's what it's all about. And just in case you want to know, the reason why the Maxwell presentation played like it did, because I believe in showing everything in full context. So where I got it from, if I appreciate it, there's things in there that you might appreciate. Nothing that we do in this way hurts our ability to grow as leaders. Change produces leadership. You had to be a leader in change. And so for those of us who may not have had that experience, going transition from one company to another or making certain monumental transitions in life, it's imperative that we unite ourselves with those who have done it, those who have achieved it before. So I hope you were tolerant of the little ads and things that come up in this presentation because they're his. But the jewels and the nuggets that are there, I did not want to ignore. So I just wanted to share that part. And that goes for anything that we do. For me, it's about context. For me, it's about integrity. For me, it's about an honest assessment. Nothing starts with me. I'm not manna that fell out of heaven. I came up from hell just like you. So welcome. Listen, classes in session every Monday through Saturday, sometimes Sunday, on our YouTube channel, the Eric Teray Muhammad YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook pages when they want to be nice. So the Eric Teray Muhammad page on Facebook, as well as We Are Farrakhan page on Facebook, you'll be able to find our presentations. Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. In a few hours, many of us will have links, referral links to share with you about this explosive new opportunity. And I want to talk to you more about this opportunity at 4 p.m. today. I want you to bring your teams, bring your colleagues, bring your first timers, people who may not have ever heard of it before. I want to help you launch your business in depth, not just you taking off with your first line. I want your first line, your second line, your third line, down to your ninth. I want it to explode right now. And the advantages that you have there, the opportunity you have to register free and not have to pay anything to get paid. You want to be with me today, 4 p.m. This is the last training before the launch. Now, I'm doing other trainings in pockets, three-way conversations and so forth in pockets. I just finished talking to Mr. Best. Fire it up. Okay. And so those of us who are on Team Believe, who have pockets of individuals that you want to work through and talk to through this week, I'm here for you this week. You let me know, and then we'll arrange a time that's conducive to our wealth building strategies and our programs surrounding wealth builders worldwide, and we will get it done because I want your business to launch. Yes, Brother Raymond, that's 4 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and this is the presentation here, Eastern in the United States. I know you're an hour ahead of us there in Argentina. Okay, so this is what we want. We want you to drive everybody to this presentation. Take a screenshot, share it out. Let them know that something big is here. It's no longer coming. It is here. All right. I want you to go to my Facebook page and look at the posts that I have made urging people to get on the list, where I show the different pictures and I talk about getting on the list. You want to make a copy of that. You want to put your information on it and you want to send it out to everybody you know and everybody you want to know you. You want to do that because you're going to launch so massive, family. I believe it to the core of my being. What can your life look like after December 1st? What would your life look like the night of December 1st? What would your life look like? Oh, you're 2 hours ahead? Wow. What would your life look like on December 2nd? And those of you who are on Team Believe, join me in a huddle. We have a huddle at 9:15 a.m. That's about 20 minutes. We're going to do a huddle and we're going to talk about some things. Our topic there will be edification. All right. So we're going to get together on that and we may share a little bit of that at 4 p.m. So in the event that you don't have the link necessarily for the Team Believe meeting, get back to the ones who you know who's on Team Believe and let's get it done. Peace and power, family. I can't leave without doing this, because if y'all don't believe health is wealth, then you don't know what time it is. I'm going to share a couple more things with you. Number one, 10:45 a.m. is our power call. Get on our power call. This is the mighty, mighty, mighty Monday. Dr. Rollins and the doctors, Rollins, David and Rhonda, they are going to bring the noise. They're going to bring everybody so amped and excited. You have no idea. And this is all things Rhonda. So she'll be on at 12 noon to give the wealth building presentation. Make sure you bring all your teams there, all your invitations there so they can learn more about the opportunity that we represent. Thank you, Brother Reggie Scott. You are invited to today's power call on the new platform, 10:45 a.m. Eastern, 9:45 Central, 8:45 a.m. Mountain, and 7:45 a.m. Pacific time, www.goldrocks.info. The password, I just talked to Cece a moment ago. She may not be able to provide the password, but she's on the phone somewhere. And one of you can provide that password for our viewers. I'd appreciate that. And make sure you are in the place to be, folks. Make sure you're in the place to be. You want to be on these presentations with Dr. Rhonda at 12 noon. And then you want to join Brother Juan Martinez at 7 p.m. And then you want to join us again at 9 p.m. on the same platform, www.golrocks.info. And what's going to, hey, thank you, Sister Sharon. And then what happens there, you're going to get a strong, tremendous presentation. Like I said, all things rounded. The Hollands are back tonight at 9 p.m. And then immediately after at 10 p.m., we'll be back with the last transition meeting into this new opportunity. Man, I can't tell you enough. I see the thanks here, but I can't tell you enough how much you all have done for me and my spirit, my soul. You know, it is so quenched, you know, over our community, over our camaraderie. Shout outs to Brother Gregory McKay. And I'm sorry, Gregory McKay is with, oh, it's tomorrow. We're on tomorrow. Woo. But Greg McKay and his team, Sister Ziane and others in Lansing, Michigan, we had an extraordinary meeting last night. Man, they didn't get off that joint till about 8:30. Everybody is fired up because we see this for what it is. We absolutely know what we have. You know, now, again, experience trumps anyone's theory, right? Well, right now, as Mr. Best said, we're theoretical. We're working in theory right now. But when that clock strikes 12, folks, and when those links go out tomorrow, you're going to be operating from the vantage point of experience. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is that opportunity. Yes, Brother Raymond, Dr. Rhonda is at 12 noon today on Gold Rocks. Man, I thank y'all so much for allowing me to be your brother and friend. But guess what? I got to keep it moving. So this is what I really need you all to pay attention to. You're coming into such a wealth abundance. You can't do it without a pure body constitution, a mental constitution. You have to take care of yourselves, family. I'm demanding right now that all of you take a screenshot of this. Take the screenshot. Make the call. Be healthy enough to enjoy your abundance. God is just not giving you gold. He's giving you himself in these offerings through your fellow wealth builders, through your fellow abundant family. You have to make time to keep the healing. Some of us don't even know that we're suffering anything. We dismiss it as a call for achy shoulder or, you know, diarrhea. You name it. You should never dismiss anything that your body is giving you signs over, ever. And I'm just as guilty as the next person. My wife just had me take a ton of vitamin D. She's like, what's wrong with you? Walking around this house, snap, crackling, and popping. You're not cereal and milk. I'm just telling you the truth. That's what she said to me. You know, so you literally need to position yourself for wellness. You know, and I always say it, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. Well, there's 2 ounces in here. It'll last a family of 4, probably 2 months. Get on the protocol to keep things away. There's no need of you talking about, oh, I feel fine, or I have no proof that it works. Well, you won't have any proof if it doesn't. Get on and get it. You have nothing to lose but your lives if you don't take better care of them. Don't you want to see this abundance that comes in? Don't you want to see it? Lord. Get back to them. Get back to them. They're only here to save yourselves, to help us save ourselves. You know, when I was for 2 years or so now, I've affectionately referred to Sister Janetta as the CSO. And one day, Mr. Dow goes, well, Mr. Best, hey, what does CSO stand for? You know, everybody knows her as CSO. And CSO stands for, oh Lord, constantly saving others. Constantly saving others. That's the mission of this family. Not just their family, but wealth builders worldwide. We are constantly saving others by being an example of what it's like to save ourselves. In fact, the whole idea of Team Believe is rooted in that kind of fundamental. Understanding the power of unity, understanding the wealth ministry is, in fact, a health ministry, a holistic approach to wealth, a holistic approach to family living. Now you have the opportunity to enjoy all that. Let's take the best steps. Let's take the step forward to understand it and realize it and live it and grow in it. Okay, man. I'm just full because I know. I don't just believe. I know where we are. You want to be in. You want to get it. Get it. You want to get it. Get it. Get it. All right. I got a message here from Brother Wendell Osborne we can't ignore, so I'm just going to share it. Enough said on that, isn't it? Family, what you have in your hands is so extraordinary. Don't sleep on it. Register when you get your link. Get your link. When you register, it's going to generate one for yourself personally. You want to get that out to everybody everywhere, because right now, if everybody does what you do, you get your link, you register, you put $100 onto your dashboard in Bitcoin, and you will be rich. We got a lot of incentives here. I will share them all with you at 4 p.m. You might get some news from Dr. Rhonda and the team at 12 noon on Gold Rocks, but I'm looking so forward to being with us and making this last push on our launch eve. So make sure you are there. Peace and power, family. Take one more look at this, screenshot it, get it out everywhere. I am so excited. I want to see the platform crash. I want to see it, you know, I want to see this platform just overrun to the point where it can't accept anybody else. We were almost there yesterday. Bring everybody. Look at it like this as I close. You can't lose anything by following us. You can't lose anything by joining us. But you can't gain anything if you don't. Come on and join us today. All I got, family. I'm so amped. I don't know what to do with myself. And Mr. Best, Mr. Dalco, they just lost their mind on that training last night. We may hear a little bit from them today in the 4 o'clock session as well. Take a screenshot. Always stay abreast. Know the time. Peace and power. Forward.
Oh, my people, I want you to understand and know the time. It's time that we are accepted and respected by both man and mankind. You know, the scripture says that God would choose those that are despised and rejected. And we have been that and cast aside. No one wanted us, and no one cared for us. And the worst thing about it, we never cared for ourselves. Oh, but brothers and sisters, it's time now that we fall in love with ourselves and with each other. This world has robbed us of a true guide, but it's time to unite and fight hard for unity. Brothers and sisters, we must live for each other and die for each other, because that's the only way that we're gonna know the meaning of what it is to be free. Then we'll conquer fear and wipe away all our tears. That's the benefit of our unity. Oh, my people, it is written that in the last days God would come after that sheep that was lost, and he has come today, and he has given us Elijah, a man to show us the way out of the ditch of hell. So up, you mighty nation, you can accomplish anything that you will. So come on, let's rise again. Yes, let us build again. As our fathers built the pyramids and the Sphinx and all of the great ancient wonders, let's rise again and build as our fathers used to do. Come on, let's unite. And strive with all our might. Oh, let's fight hard for unity. Brothers and sisters, we must learn to live for each other and die for each other, because that's the only way we're gonna know the joy of being free. We'll conquer fear. We'll conquer fear and wipe away all our tears. That's the benefit of our unity. Come on, black man, rise again. And build again. Rise again. The basis of unity is love. When we love each other, we come into unity with each other. And when we're in unity, we have the strength and the power to overcome all obstacles in the pathway of our freedom. Yes, brothers and sisters, this is the benefit of our unity. So let's rise again. Come on, black man, rise again. Brothers and sisters, come on. Build again, bit of unity. So let's rise again, baby, and build again, bit of unity. Build again.